I believe IT doesn't never replace a realtor, because our clients, they use also AI. They use the portals to get informed. Clients today, they have a lot of information, and sometimes a client has more information about the market, like as a real estate agent, because they know everything about the area they want to buy a house. Sometimes a real agent doesn't have this information. Technique should help the realtors to become the same information like the client has. Technology should help the client as a realtor to earn time on doing things he doesn't need to do.
Hey there, future real estate legends. This is Jason P. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach and the president and CEO, the Legends International team brokered by EXP Realty. I just wanted to thank you for being here and welcome you to another episode of the Lit Real Estate Show, where we interview our equity partners at EXP Realty in the USA and from all around the globe. Now I just ask you to please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button and hitting that bell icon so you never miss another Lit show or any other future videos that I have then launch here on this channel. It also helps the show grow so we can get even more successful EXP Realty agents on to help you. Now, at the same time, if you're a subscriber, you'll get access to new shows before anyone in the world does. If you would, subscribe right now. Thanks so much. Let me introduce our guest speaker today, Mr. Paul Feller from Germany. Brings a rare blend of hospitality, finance, and entrepreneurship to real estate. Began his career in Switzerland's hotel industry, specialized as a sommelier in France, and later transitioned into private banking, where years of advising clients on wealth and property strategies led him naturally into real estate. At age 40, Paul became a self-employed and went on to build and scale multi-office real estate operations across Germany and neighboring European markets, driven by belief in strong communities and long-term value creation. Today, Paul's real estate operations are based in Germany with a focus on reshaping the next chapter of European real estate through innovation, technology, and cross-border collaboration. A lifelong technologist, Paul believes tech should empower agents, not replace them, freeing time for clients and expertise. Now aligned with EXP Realty, he's actively involved in European growth initiatives, including the strategic development of the European Blue Banana, helping entrepreneurial agents build future-ready businesses with a truly global model. With that said, Paul, welcome to the call.
Wow, you told everything in a short, it's great, yeah. You told everything about me. I think it's most important. And the question was why I joined EXP. It's the most important question for you.
But let's hold that for a second, right? Let's get into our real estate time machine, the DeLorean, and let's set the clock back a few years, right? Let's go back to the time period before you got into real estate. So kind of paint the picture a little bit more for us, okay? We've heard through the introduction a little bit about your time period in Switzerland, right, in the hotel business. Tell us, how did that naturally happen, though? How did you naturally move into real estate?
But it was a long journey. Actually, as a young man, for me, hotel business was business I wanted to do, because I every time wants to stay together with clients. And clients, hotel business is not real estate, but in real estate, what you have to do, you have to treat with women, with people. So it's a people business, and it was for me a good start. And yes, the most beautiful time was studying at the wine university, because we tested a lot of good wines, and I still like to do some good degustations.
I'm game for that. I'm game for that, Paul. Anytime. 9 years in Italy, brother. I love tasting wine. So.
Next time you're coming here in Trier, we have a very good vineyards, and will see that German wine is sometimes one of the best you can taste. But that was the beginning of my career, and it was about 1995. I came back from Switzerland. I went to Luxembourg. Luxembourg is the country I was born. It's my home country. And in Luxembourg in 1995, there was a huge rush in banking industry. It was little like Far West. It was crazy. We opened companies. We did everything after some papers wrote about Luxembourg, what was not good. But it was a funny time, and I also was at that time in client advisory, private client advisory,
Okay.
and often we had talks about real estate, about shares also, but also real estate, investing in real estate companies. And it was about 2008. Maybe all of you remember Lehman Brothers and friends that everything what happens in the world.
Right.
And yeah, I decided myself, okay, I have to do something different. And I talked to my friends, I'm going to be a self-entrepreneur. Everybody around me said, hey, Paul, stop, please. The world is going down, and now you want you to do your own business. You're crazy. And it's how it is. And the answer to that question is very easy. If you take an airplane, the airplane, does it take off with the wind or against the wind? So that was the answer of my question. And I started in 2009 with my business, and I worked in real estate industry for myself for 2 years, but being self on the market, surrounded with a lot of sharks. It's not the funniest thing.
Right. I mean, real estate, there is a lot of sharks in real estate. That's
it was.
right.
At the beginning, I thought I will do that, I will manage that without problems, but it was not easy. And so in 2010, 2011, I looked, what can I do different? Maybe can I find somewhere help, or what can I do? And there I met the company. I signed a contract. It was a big franchise company, well known, and I was quite happy with this company, and I still am, but okay, another way. And on 2011, I started with my first office, and 2-3 years later, I opened the second office, and this one not in Luxembourg. The first one, it was in Luxembourg. I went to Germany, and during the time, I opened 6 more offices of real estate businesses in Germany, and also I helped this brand to grow in another country, which one they wanted to launch. And it was for me a good training. It was a good time. It was quite good for that moment. It was quite good.
So Paul, at the height of that franchise brand, how many agents did you have working in the market at the height?
At the height, I had 50 working agents working for me.
Okay.
It's not a big, but for me it was big.
I think for Europe that's pretty big. I mean, the US, you know, we talked about these 208 teams, right? But for Europe to have 50 agents, right, across multiple offices, Paul, that's quite an accomplishment. Multiple countries, multiple offices, right?
Yeah.
So you were operating that. You were at that brand for how many total years, Paul?
I started on 2011, and I finished now 6 months ago. So it's about 14 years, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been one of the most dominant brands, and for the sake, we're not going to mention the name here today, but you know, the model had its run. You know, that's how I look at it. Right. It was very dominant for a period of time, and like we've discussed, you know, as time changed, models have to change. Otherwise, people change, right? So let's dive into that, right? So you had a chance to, we had a chance to meet through a mutual friend, and I know that you've been very influential in helping some markets get started, some opportunities, some new people joining, and so tell us a little bit about how you learned about EXP and why you decided to make this change, you know, after being at another brand for such a long time.
That was very funny indeed, because if we talk now 1 year back, I would have talking to with my old brand, but I saw it was end of last year. I saw something. I can't tell it how in words. It is if you're working somewhere, you're feeling good, but you're seeing it's good, but it's not the best anymore. You have to change, and it was more by you say hazard in English. It was more chance. Somebody talked me about EXP, and I was invited to Barcelona. And in Barcelona, I saw a new world. Mm-hmm. I say it like that. Everybody is talking about technology. Mm-hmm. Also the brand I was before. But in Barcelona, I saw a company who was not talking about technology. They were doing technology. I saw there's something, okay, this is a total different mindset, because before, in a franchisee, and I don't want to talk bad about franchises, but in the franchise model, you had on the down level, it was like a pyramid. On the down level, you had the working class, the people who had to pay their bills, they have to pay fees, and the money they earned, they give to a broker owner. The broker owner had also to work, and the money he earned, he had to give to the country leader to the region leader, and so on till the global leader. So everybody worked for another person. And in EXP, I saw, oh, it's a structure like that. You are free. A realtor, he can do his business. And the cost for this business are even less than if he has to pay himself all the portals. So on the money, because that's my banking character, he told to me, Paul, look, talking about money, you are crazy not to change, because here you earn money. And then on the technical, because I'm really technical motivated, I saw, okay.
Let me just stop you for a second, Paul, because
Yeah.
I think there's some people on this call that don't really understand what you just said. And I think it's really, really important. And that is outside of the United States and Canada, right? So the way to publish and list properties, because there is no MLS, really, no real MLS, right? So you have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to these real estate portals. So these websites like Zillow, right, that exist in all of these other countries. So Paul, what was the bill, just for an example, what was the bill for what you were paying for the portals?
About 6,000 euros each month.
Each month?
Yeah.
Wow, man. So that's a crazy number, right?
Yeah.
And so you were paying this every single month, just not at, so you weren't even, the top of the pyramid at the franchise model, right? And this is what you were paying out every month. Right?
Exactly, yes.
Right. And so the ability here with EXP in Europe is you join with a monthly fee and you cover your own portals, right?
Yes.
And then everybody else does their own thing, but they get it all for 100 euro. Like I was talking to an agent in Stuttgart who's joining with us, and she said, I'm paying $8,000 or 8,000 euro a year on my own. And she goes, if I join, that 8,000 goes to 100 euro. And I was like, yes, right? So I think that's the key, is that we're leveraging the network and the brand and our size, right, to negotiate our opportunity. So when let's go back to Barcelona, because I think we briefly met
Yes.
probably in Barcelona, but I remember a couple of weeks ago when we really met, right? But Barcelona, I think we briefly met, but that event was awesome. So that was our EXP convention, international convention that was in Barcelona back in June of 2025, for those who are looking for some context. So you saw a company that wasn't just talking about technology, they were doing it. Okay,
Yes.
So that's where we stopped there, okay?
Yeah, it's everything. It's about just mailing. It was about the virtual world, everything we have, and all the. It was not that somebody showed me something that will come. They showed me about tools which are there. We are working with. We are not talking about AI. We are at AI. It was completely different. So for me, this. It's maybe a side history, but when I was very young as a child in the 1985, maybe you remember Commodore computers, the small computers.
Yes.
Yeah. The funniest thing we had to do is to, because you couldn't buy games, you had the newspaper and you have to program the games, and there was sometimes fraud on it, and you was happy if you find the solution. Since that time, I'm not a big expert in technology, but I'm oriented on technology, because I believe IT doesn't never replace a realtor, because our clients, they use also AI, they use the portals to get informed. Clients today, they have a lot of information, and sometimes a client has more information about the market like as a real estate agent, because they know everything about the area they want to buy a house. Sometimes a real agent doesn't have this information. And in my eyes, it's just personal, technique should help the realtors to become the same information like the client has. Technology should help the client as a realtor to earn time on doing things he doesn't need to do. So on one hand, I believe totally in IT, but IT must be a working tool for the agent, helping him to get more time in real connection with clients. That's for me the most important as realtor.
Yeah.
And
I agree. And I had this conversation with several people. I said, AI and technology, other pieces of technology are simply tools to make us more productive, more efficient, right? I even was on a call last night at about 9 p.m. our time, and I saw some amazing AI agent technology that I'm not going to spill the beans on it all. I'll bring it out here in January on a call, but I saw something really impressive. But it was really about how to make us more efficient about reaching out and finding clients, right? And bringing and attracting them to us. And I think that that's the key part, because this is the most, especially with residential real estate, it's an emotional decision for almost everyone, right?
Yep.
But let's talk and let's shift gears now and talk about, so you had a chance to learn about EXP, the model, right? And you decided to make that change, right? And so this was a big change for you, right? And so not only were you coming, but you were bringing some leaders with you too, right? So it was a big deal. So talk about that and then expand into what you think about EXP's future around the world.
But I take now as a little country, Luxembourg. I don't know if everybody knows Luxembourg. Luxembourg, just to say, it's a country. It's 70 kilometers long, 50 kilometers at the other distance. So at some points you see the whole country. But coming now to EXP, I helped Karim, who is now leading the Luxembourgish country. And Luxembourg, as it is so small, it could be like a little a test country. And Karim started to talk with realtors after the launch events where you were also with. Right. And we had many people saying, oh, we want to join you. The reason were, as we talked before, costs. The reason is technology. Reason is our international brand. And it could be that I'm wrong, because it's just at the start to launch Luxembourg. But we have many people who want to join us. And I want to put this little country back to Germany or another country, Europe. And I see the possibilities we have, because there are many realtors who have to finance themselves, who need technology. So for me, EXP in the future, I see a huge opportunity. And if I were working now as a bank advisor, and if you were my client and asking me, where should I put my money? Okay, I would never tell you put everything on the EXP share, because you have to diversify. But believe me, some shares you had to buy as my client would be EXP shares. And that I believe on it. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe in the next 5 years, we will be about 200,000 agents working in EXP. I take, looking after the blue banana, I take Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Benelux, Belgium. There's a lot we have a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah.
The market is.
Yeah. Keep going, Paul. You're doing great, man. This is awesome.
The market is there. It's sometimes money is lying on the street, but often people don't like to move down to put it up. So if we have the opportunity, we can do a lot of things there. Yeah. And I believe on that market.
Absolutely. I think, we just look at Germany. I think that the opportunity in Germany is so massive. I mean, this is something you and I've spent a lot of time talking about and strategizing on. And in our third segment today, we'll dive deeper into what is the blue banana and how we're actually going to peel the banana and actually show everybody how to take bites and take advantage of it, right? So I'm super excited about that. But that really is the key. And I also think Luxembourg is an important key. And Felix or Steve, I can't remember who said it, that said that basically Luxembourg was the Dubai of Europe, right? Yeah. So it's so multicultural, 3 languages, you have all, and you're so close to France, to Germany, to Belgium, to the Netherlands, right? All right in that area, right? And I think about all of the countries still to open left, right? And I agree with you. I think in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we're several 100,000 agents worldwide, right? And so all of that growth is still in front of us, right? And when I was at the Netherlands launch and the Luxembourg launch, there is a graph that they show, and that is the revenue growth of EXP outside the US and Canada. And if you look at the growth of the US and you watch that growth, and Felix talked about this when I interviewed him at the Luxembourg launch, and he said that EXP International is where EXP was in the US right around 2015, 2016. And if you look at that graph and you see how it does a hockey stick up, we're about to enter that upward trend. It's already showing up, right, with the revenues. Now that we exceeded in Q3 over 113 million euro in, or was it dollar or euro? I think it was dollar. Dollar in gross revenue by Q3 of 2025, right? It wasn't even 4 full quarters yet, right? And that was the first time that EXP had ever exceeded 100 million, right? And so if you look at the trend from 2020 up, it's going up, right? So of course we can't predict in a crystal ball what's going to happen in the future. There's so many things out of our control, but I'm with you, Paul, right? I believe in the vision, and I'm here for the ride. So let's save the rest of our conversation about the blue banana for everybody else as we do in the third segment. But Paul, I'm excited that we've created our partnership and that we're going to use co-sponsoring to grow around the world. There was a country that Paul had just mentioned that I'm not going to say anything else about, but he said, hey, we're going to co-sponsor this country. And I'm like going, let's go, right? I mean, so Paul, I'm so excited and I cannot wait to start doing this trip. Matter of fact, I know Nadia Hoffman's on this call, so we're going to be going up there in February. We're going to be talking about this in a little bit with our blue banana strategy. So again, Paul, thank you so much for taking time. I know it's the holidays. Thank you for taking time to come here and do this interview with me and spend some time with our team. Hey, I hope you found value in today's legendary interview with our special guest. If you'd like to see more interviews just like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to learn more about today's guest, I placed all their contact information in the description below. Who knows, maybe they are the mentor you've been looking for. And if you're looking to make a change who you are partnered with in real estate, feel free to book a no-pressure private Zoom call with me. During this private call, I'll share with you how we help real estate agents leverage their language skills and cultural connections to close more transactions both locally and internationally using cutting-edge lead generation technology and marketing techniques. If you want to find yourself in a different situation in 90 days or in a year from now, it's important to find the right partners that can mentor you, have the right strategies, and are willing to give you the roadmap without asking for an additional cut of your commission. With the unique EXP Realty model, it's a collaboration, not competition mentality. The numbers don't lie either. So if you're curious, reach out and set up an appointment. I look forward to meeting you. Feel free to check out the other videos I have here on the channel about EXP Realty too, in case you're just curious. Otherwise, drop your questions or suggestions for upcoming guests in the comments below. Once again, I'm Jason T. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach with the Legends International team brokered by EXP Realty. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.